Okay, so video number 3 in sequence. What I'm trying to do here is trying to leave the board similarly set up to the previous video. Certainly, I want to keep working off this trap line opening. I think that's a good idea. It's going to keep you guys familiar if you sort of watch the videos from the first video to the second to the third and so forth. It'll just probably give you a good way to see how things can potentially progress. So just to put this in context, I've set up the trap line for this yellow army and moved a few pieces out like this rook, for example, and I've just set it up in a position where I can actually demonstrate what this video is all about, which is a couple of examples of what we call a 3 into 2. The green army, again, I've just put things in opportune places to be able to demonstrate that. Haven't really put too much thought into the green army's kind of layout, but I think you'll get the gist of what we're doing here. So 3 into 2 maneuvers will win you the game in Four Kings, One War. That's kind of what you've got to be looking at. What a 3 into 2 is basically where with your 2 moves, because everybody gets 2 moves per turn, with your 2 moves, you end up threatening 3 or more pieces of your opponent's army. So what that means is that in their responding turn, obviously they only have 2 moves to respond, but yet they've got 3 or more pieces under threat. So that causes them to lose 1 at least. So you can sort of slowly start picking your opponent off. So here's an example, and there's a few examples in this layout that I can show you for what we call a 3 into 2. So let's just say it is greens. Well, it's a black. We call it black army, but which basically means the black and the green army. It's my opposition's turn. Let's say they move this knight here and they do a double hop. So that's a single hop. Obviously, knights have a range of a double hop, and they go there. And I don't know, let's just say they move this bishop out here, for example. That's their 2 moves. What they've made a mistake on here, and this is what you've got to look out for, is they have put 2 very high value pieces on the same diagonal. Now that's always going to leave you vulnerable for a 3 into 2, because all I have to do is move 1 piece on that diagonal. In this case, I'm going to move a bishop with my first move, and what that's doing is it's now threatening this knight, and as soon as that knight hops out of the way to safety, it's exposing this knight to threat. So that 1 move I've just done is essentially threatening 2 pieces. So that's why you just really want to be careful about not sort of landing on diagonals or sitting there for too long, especially if there's your opposition's bishops are in play. So that's my first move. Then all I have to do with my second move is basically something like this, for example. Move my rook here. So that rook's being protected by this bishop. It's now threatening the queen. In fact, it's also backing up my bishop if it has to come in here and take that knight. So that's a very powerful move. So that's my 2 moves in that turn. It's now my opponent's turn. What are they going to do? Let's just say they move this out the way. That's 1 move, and they definitely don't want to lose their queen. That's their second move. That's their 2 turns. Boom. Thank you very much. I'll come in and take that bishop. Oh, sorry, that knight. And so I'm a piece up. So that's the concept of a 3 into 2. I'm going to show you another way that you could execute on this without, say, necessarily using the rook. So let's just put everything back in place. So same scenario, this knight is double hopped and it's landed on the same diagonal. Bad move. If you remember in the last 2 previous videos, we talked about this bishop here and why I've put it here, and it's because of this open diagonal here onto the king. And I'm waiting for an opportunity to expose that check. I don't want to blow that check too early, so I'm just sitting there waiting. And it's this sort of scenario, like the other scenarios in the other video, but this is another example of why this is worthwhile sitting there versus just sitting on its back starting position. Because another option to capitalize on this situation here is, again, I can put the bishop there. Same deal as I explained, that's threatening 2 knights. But then that's when I can also open that file or open that diagonal, and boom, I've got that king in check. So again, they've got 2 moves to respond. They have to respond to the check, get the king out of check, And now what are they going to do? Okay, well, they'll move this knight out the way. They might do a double hop somewhere, you know, maybe back here, so at least they can protect this knight for a double hop. That's their two moves. I come in and I'll take that knight. So 3 into 2s are fantastic. I'll just put all this back. Fantastic maneuvers to look out for. I'm committed to keeping these videos shorter. So we're about 5 minutes 30 now. So I think I might just leave it at that. That's probably enough examples for you to have a look at. Think about. There's so many different variations of 3s into 2s. I'll keep putting them into these videos and as we go. But have a think about it when you're playing 4 kings. That's what you're looking for. You're looking to create these 3s into 2 situations, and they come, like I said, they come in so many different variations. They can be involved in a check. They can be involved in a check that requires 2 moves to get the king out of check. They can be involved in a double check. There's just lots of situations where that could occur. I might actually show you quickly, I might just show you what I mean by a double check. So let's just get this stuff out the way. This would require the game to be kind of, you know, a little bit advanced into the mid game, but happens quite often. You might have come in here and got this king in check at some point, and it's forced them to move it there. And then what they do is they make a mistake. Well, then you force this king into check, and they've then made a mistake of putting their kings, unbeknownst to them, on the same diagonal. Let's just get this out of play so it doesn't influence what I'm doing. So what can occur there, and you know, I'll just put this into context as well. Let's just say that diagonal that we're sitting here to take advantage of got closed off and it was no longer in play. So therefore your bishop you've brought away from there. There's no point it's sitting there anymore because there's no opportunity anymore. So you're starting to get this into play, and then this occurs: king and king on the same diagonal. Brilliant, because what that means, sorry, I'm just going to get one more thing out of the way so it doesn't interfere, because I'm aiming for this square here, obviously. But if that knight was there, that's a double hop. It would just take it. So that knight's out of the way. There's a few variables that need to be in play here. Those kings have landed on the same diagonal. Okay, brilliant. All I got to do there is go like this, boom, and as you can see, check, check. That's a double check. Brilliant. And then what do? I can put, well, let's just say that bishop also wasn't there, and move that back from the last time. I can put that bishop there and threaten the knight if I want to. I can simply move that pawn up there and threaten the queen. They've got to get themselves out of check, so that queen's going to go, or I can do it with a bishop. I mean, I've got lots of choices, but that's another 3 into 2, but that's come in the form of a double check. And those scenarios happen all the time. They don't normally happen until sort of deep into the game, and a lot of the stuff's cleared out. And, you know, you've been threatening the kings and hustling the kings, and they've been moving around all over the place. But again, if you spot it, keep an eye on it, because if you see the kings on the same diagonal, even if your bishop's not sitting there ready to go, slowly get it into position, because you can see it happening, and they might be full on the attack and they're getting you in check, so you're always losing one move to get yourself out of check, but you might have another move to be able to sort of further develop. We'll use that move to get into position, and then boom, when it's appropriate, get in there, put both kings in a check, and then threaten whatever's down here harassing you. And that's another way to sort of do a bit of a kidney punch, if you like, when you're on the ropes. But that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. That's 3 examples of 3 into 2. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, keep your eye out. I'm just going to keep pumping these videos out. It seems to be that people are sort of resonating with them. They're making sense. No thrills, like I said. It's just basic strategy talk. Nothing special with the editing. But it allows me to get these out pretty quickly. So I'll keep doing it. And if you do like these videos, again, if you can give us a thumbs up, that'll be great. That'll let me know that you're liking them. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And that certainly helps the channel, which will go towards the greater cause. So again, hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.